Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the Nerdic Pro podcast. My name is, as per usual, Bobby effin Salastar. And tonight I'm here, sort of on location, shall we say. Here in the wonderful seaside town of sunny Skegness, Skeg Vegas, whatever it is you want to call it, here on the Lincolnshire coast, on the east coast of England. And to start off, I'd like to congratulate the England Lionesses for their victory about half an hour ago in the 2025 Euros, back-to-back victories, winning the 2025 and the 2021, or whatever it was, Euros. And unfortunately, given the news earlier on this week we lost two icons. One, of course, was obviously in the music industry of Black Sabbath frontman, the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne, and obviously, of course, a couple of days back, the world unfortunately lost Terry Bollea, better known to the wider world as the immortal Hulk Hogan. Quite sad this week, losing two people that, me personally, I grew up listening to Black Sabbath, and as well, Hulk Hogan as well. I wasn't about in the Hulkamania era, as that was, 20 years before I was even born. Yeah, so this is going to be a bit of a shorter podcast. I'll probably say about 10-15 minutes. I do massively apologise for the very short podcast the past few weeks. It's been a bit of a rough past couple of weeks. I've had a lot going on and everything. Sorry, I want to turn. I don't know why I've got the camera turned off, but yeah. Hello, people. It's a bit of a unusual background, like as I said, because I'm in Skegness at the minute. So I've got any banners to put up. There we are. I've put that. So Ozzy Osbourne, obviously legend in the music industry. Hulk Hogan, obviously legend in the wrestling industry. But to start off, I'm going to talk a bit about the England-Spain game that's just taken place, the finals of the 2025 Euros. Massive congratulations to them on winning it again, back to back. And so first half was a bit, like Spain were properly all over England, Spain ended up scoring in the first half. I think the ref, literally gave Spain everything. There were countless amounts of times where, England could have easily have had like an opportunity, but didn't. Well, was like that it wasn't given for just stupid decision making by the ref. I think. Then second half, England obviously equalised, and then went into extra time, still 1-1, and England ended up winning on penalties, which fantastic. Literally, I've not had the chance to watch much wrestling this week. as literally I've been here, there, and everywhere, doing stuff, helping people out and shit. And yeah, I've not had the chance to review much and what have you, but I'll try and do like a proper sort of tribute to Ozzy and Hulk Hogan, like whilst I'm here in Skeg, and what have you. And I thought I'd only come live sort of briefly here, because I've not come live at all this week. But yeah, for episode of week number 192. Big numbers now for Nerdic Pro Weekly. We are just 2 months away, 8 weeks away from episode 200 of Nerdic Pro Weekly. And yeah, so but yeah, Ozzy, that was 17 days after his obviously Black Sabbath's farewell concert at Villa Park in Birmingham. And yeah, he had unfortunately passed away earlier on this week. Like he was quite ill, bless him. Obviously he had Parkinson's, which is terrible sort of thing to have. Absolutely terrible thing to have. And yeah, but a couple of weeks back at his farewell concert at Villa Park in Birmingham, they raised over £140 million for Parkinson's research charities, which is just a phenomenal number. And like from what I've read, it's up there with was it Live Aid that Queen did for Africa? Like was that what it was called, Live Aid? And yeah, like it's like from what I've read, like it's up there with like the money raised through Live Aid, which phenomenal figures, absolutely fantastic, and yeah, and then obviously Hulk Hogan on Thursday, just what the hell, is like he had surgery on something back in May, I believe it was. This is Hulk Hogan, and he'd been he'd been suffering with complications because of that surgery since. Which, from what I've read and from what I've heard, it was the complications that ended up, unfortunately, taking him. But yeah, you can hate Terry Bollea all you want, but I think Hulk Hogan, the character, you can't deny what Hulk Hogan did for the world of pro wrestling. He put wrestling, his face put wrestling onto a global scale very, very quickly, and put it onto like a massively huge international scale, put the WWF, as it was at the time, onto a huge scale, and everything, and I honestly do not think that Hulk Hogan, that wrestling, would be as big as what it is today had it not been for Hulk Hogan. Same with music. I don't think that music would be rock and roll and what have you would be what it is today had it not been for Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath. And yeah, so it's just sad to see that they've passed on now, as as someone, well, I'd say someone like myself, the only matches that I was sort of like about to see of Hulk Hogan's was what he had in like the early 2010s in TNA, when he was about in TNA, for a few years. And other than that, he was already done with WWE, wrestling wise. And but like going back to watch, his matches with the likes of Andre the Giant, Macho Man Randy Savage, the Ultimate Warrior, Sergeant Slaughter, and the Iron Sheik, and countless other legends within, like that, golden age of WWE from like 84 to 92, and then like early day New Generation era. Yokozuna, another one, Bret Hart, it was, some of the most watched wrestling matches in history, were involving Hulk Hogan. And as well, from the first 10 WrestleMania main events, there are only 3 people now left alive, being Sergeant Slaughter, Bret Hart, and who was the other one? I can't bloody think now. Hang on. Bear me just a second. Events of WrestleMania. Oh yeah, and that was it. Right. So it was right. So it's Sergeant Slaughter, Bret Hart, and the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. Out of the first 10 WrestleMania main events, those are the only 3 that are still left alive. So from 84 to 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93. Sergeant Slaughter, Bret Hart, and the $1 Million Man are the only ones from those main events that are still alive, which is quite sad when you come to think of it. Because like a lot of people that I know that were about in those days, who were either wrestling fans at the time but ain't now, or were wrestling fans at the time but are still fans to this day. It's a lot sadder, like in their sort of aspect, because they'd have been the ones who grew up with them, so like when they were like my age, or younger than like what I am, because I'm 20 years old, and they'd have grown up with the likes of Rowdy Roddy Piper, the Ultimate Warrior, Tito Santana, who's King Kong Bundy, Yokozuna, Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart, Sergeant Slaughter, the $1 Million Man, Andre the Giant, whereas my day has been, John Cena, Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, Triple H, Edge, Bray Wyatt, God rest his soul, Luke Harper, Brody Lee, John Hoover, God rest his soul, and growing up, like that's been like my era of wrestling, when it comes to WWE, it's quite a sad world that we live in, when you think, people that, you grew up watching, when it is their time to unfortunately pass on, it's quite sad, like when they do. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, so, but yeah. Anyways, I want to try and because I'm here until Friday, right? This coming Friday, the 1st of August, and I've been here since Friday, just gone, so 2 days ago. I want to try and film like a couple of like little mini vlogs whilst I'm here, and then put them up here onto YouTube, and yeah. So and then yeah, so we'll see where that gets us, and yeah. Any sort of podcast that anyone wants to see or anything, then feel free to drop a comment down below. Feel free to send in a message to the Nerdic Pro Podcast Facebook page. And yeah, so that is it from me, Bobby effing Salazar. So thank you all very much for watching. Those of you who have been watching live. Please do go check out the Nerdic Pro Podcast Facebook page. Check out our sister show on Facebook, the Nerdic Pro Podcast Football, run by long-time friend of mine, Norwich City Football Club, mega fan, super fan, whatever he wants to be known as, the Rumpster, Mr. Tommy Rump. Go check us out on Spotify, the Nerdic Pro Podcast. Not updated it for forever and a day. Yeah, got a few sort of things in the pipeline to try and do on Spotify and everything. And yeah, so also, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the Nerdic Pro Podcast. Hit that notification bell so you know when we go live or whenever we upload. There's going to be a few archive podcasts uploaded soon. I know I keep saying that I want to get about. There will be some out. I have got some downloaded on my gallery here on my phone, and they will be uploaded soon. Yeah, I want to get some more downloaded onto my phone tonight, just so I can, put them up and then, what's the word? What's the bloody word? Put them out and then like put times on them so they can go out at specific times and days and everything. So like, there's going to be loads of archive podcasts coming up soon, and yeah. So yeah, but anyways, my name is, as usual, been Bobby effing Salazar. As I said, please do give us a subscribe, hit that notification bell, check out the Nerdic Pro Podcast on Facebook, check out the Nerdic Pro's sister show, the Nerdic Pro Podcast Football on Facebook, check us out on Spotify, obviously the Nerdic Pro Podcast, and yeah, thank you all very, very much, and I shall be seeing you all later. Goodbye.